You are welcome to the Premier Top 4 Podcast. The Premier Top 4 Podcast. The podcast where all the fans come together and defend their teams. We analyze the matches. We analyze the matches of United, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Liverpool. And then we banter each other. So tonight, the focus of our matches are Arsenal versus Man City, the big one. Chelsea, and then United and all that. So we are going to cover all the matches, but you have to stay tuned. You don't have to miss out because the Arsenal versus Man City match is going to be our main focus. And then we will talk about the Jackson brace, the brace from Jackson, the Michael Jackson dance and all that, and then Annie Slot bouncing back with a bang, the goals they scored. Oh my goodness. And then we will go to the last match, the United, disgracefully drawing. We are going to talk about everything. So just don't miss out on this. Don't scroll. Just wait for us. It's going to be an exciting time. My guest, just introduce yourself within just 30 seconds. My friend in United Jersey. What's your name and then with the team you support and all that? Just 30 seconds and let's move.
Yeah, it's Michael, Manchester United for life, the Red Devil, the pride of Old Trafford, the pride of Manchester, So here supporting Manchester United and also giving FA coaching insights on the matches. Okay, stay tuned.
Thank you. My friend in the Chelsea jersey.
Yeah, of course, it's Ozu here, Joey boy. As you can see the badge, the pride of London, it's always blue. Let's go.
Yeah, they've introduced themselves. They are all proud of their teams. Some teams are struggling while others are cruising. So, as you're on this pod, you know that definitely we are always going to try to chip in some banter here and there. I'm also Chris, and my team is Chelsea. Today I'm in blue as well, but then it's a city blue anyway, so it's not really representing the team. Anyway, the first match I want us to delve right into is the match that just ended some few minutes ago. The Man City versus Arsenal match. It was a thrilling match. The first half was crazy. The second half dialed down, and then until the final minute, another thing happened. My goodness, the match was good. Michael, just 30 seconds. Give me a rundown of the entire match, and then we'll break it down. What did you see?
Yeah, it was typical Manchester City, holding the possession, playing around the ball, and being Arteta being a disciple of Pep, understanding some of these tactics. I think he was able to manage it. Arsenal took advantage of some of the lapses of Manchester City, and hurt them, and that's what happened. So, but it was a fantastic game, really to the very end, So it was a fantastic game.
Thank you so much for that. Owusu, how did you see the entire match? Just 30 seconds and then we'll delve right into it.
Yeah, it was a very thrilling match. Man City as always, when you meet them, they try to possess as much as they could. In the early minutes, Arsenal got the possession on their side, but as we progressed through the game, they took over, and then I thought Arsenal was going to win anyway. And just a few seconds to end, and they just let themselves down. So kudos to Man City. They showed the reason why they are Premier League champions, and it's not easy in the Premier League to become a champion for that number of years. So yeah, they proved their point very well. Kudos to them.
Thank you so much, Owusu. Thank you so much for that. So let's go deeper into it. As I always do, I always get some points down before we end the match and all that. So this is from my lens, and then from there, the pundits that I have who are also fans who also give their perspectives on it. So in the sixth minute, Haaland scored, and he was assisted by Savinho. How it's like the first 15 minutes they dominated. Coach, how did you see it? How did you see it?
So, if you recall, in our last podcast, we talked about the recruitment format for Manchester City, and we talked about the impact of finding players that we think we did not know before they come into Manchester City. And you see that's the situation with Savinho. Since he came into the club, he has been, he has taken over the Mahrez mesmerizing, So it's been a fantastic play by them. And, finding Haaland on that left foot was fantastic, give him and drilling straight to the goal, textbook goal scoring ability. And I think it was a very good combination.
And let me just dwell on you and let me continue from you. So the first 15 minutes, they were operating at their highest level that I've seen this season. How did you see that?
Now, when you are playing a high pressing team like Manchester City, you need to sit and manage the press. Because, if you are hot at that very beginning of the game, it can be dangerous going forward. And, that's why they were able to manage themselves, score the goal and continue to take the press, continue to take the press in the hope that they were going to get their equalizer, and that's what has happened. So playing a team like Man City, you need to manage the press because they will always have the possession. So playing the ball around, they will always have the opportunity to hurt you. So all you need to do as a team, either even the 25 minutes, Arsenal were able to manage that press and able to operate with it. Some teams don't even get the chance to have possession. So with Man City as a team, you have to continue to hold the press and continue to defend against them until you have the opportunity to attack.
Okay, so Usu, how did you see the Savinho assist and then the Haaland goal? Haaland has scored 100 goals now. How did you see that?
Well, with Manchester City, you can't be surprised when they do something like this. Savinho is from South America, right? The way they do their recruitment, they'll just go and bring in one boy from somewhere you wouldn't know, and then in the next minute they come shining. I think it was the same with Alvarez. I didn't know Alvarez until he got into the league, and then now we have Savinho. Alvarez left, and Savinho has taken over. And yeah, like Michael was saying, he gives you that Mahrez vibes. You might be thinking he's going the other way, but before you see, he's on your weaker side, and he just walks past you. The assist for the first goal was very wonderful. I didn't see that coming. I was thinking he was going to pass it backwards or maybe to
Good
the.
one. He was running this side. That was
I was thinking
everybody's
it was going to
expectation.
go that way, but before I saw it was already in the box, and Haaland pounced on it, and it was a goal. So Man City, for Haaland, he's a goal machine. He's proven it. The first time I heard of Haaland, I think he was playing one junior game. He scored about 6 or 9 goals in that
It
game.
was
I
nine
think it
goals,
was
nine
three,
goals.
three hat tricks. Yeah, three hat tricks. Like how? So Alan, from when he was in the under 20s, he has proven to be a very good goal scorer. From Bundesliga to Premier League, he's still proving. So it's not surprising that he has reached 100 goals in just 105 games. So yeah, Man City is Man City. When they get you, they will do the hurting. They did well, and they got a point. They got a point. They were supposed to lose though, but like I said, they proved why they are champions of England.
Okay, so Califiori. Califiori. I don't know if I'm mentioning the name well. He came
Calafiori,
up
yeah,
with
that's the
with
name.
a banger, a banger. His
Yeah,
first goal for Arsenal. How did you see
yeah,
it,
it's
coach?
yeah,
Coach,
it's
how did
it's
you see it,
always
coach?
nice. Okay,
Also, let's coach speak.
Okay. So the art of goal scoring, people have captioned it in different formats. It must be a strike, it must be a shot. And from what we teach the kids, for example, at the grassroots is even if you cannot hit go for power, you should go for precision. So what he just did was like a pull out, passing to the net, pick his spot, and he put the ball in there. So it was a very, very wonderful goal, technical and rare to see from players because everybody wants to go with power, and force, but he just find the spot and put it there. And I'm sure even the defenders thought it was going to be like a cross, but that was not what he did. He just put it in the corner, and that was difficult for Edansi to handle. So that was a goal.
now that's one thing. The commentator was saying something. He was saying he meant to cross, but if you ask him after the goal, he's going to tell you no, he meant to shoot. What I saw was a left back trying to just put a cross across the goal, and some way somehow it just landed in the back of the net. So yeah, if you ask him, he's gonna tell you that no, I meant to shoot and he shot. But in the end, it's a goal, so you can't argue so much about it.
I think that the question now is, how did Man City allow Gabriel to score from a header and a corner again? Because I could see that from the first, it was the second time that he was trying. They did the same thing again. Man City tried to change it, but I think I should leave it to you guys. You are the experts and all that. So, coach, how did you see that? How did they allow it?
Now, first thing, Kai Walker disappointed. Kai Walker did not do well in that. Even with the antics, antics he was trying to play, trying to touch him, all you need to do was to stop the run. So that even if he attacks the ball, he will not attack it cleanly. But he left him, and like you said, that was the second attempt. Gabriel has done it the first time. So that was something that the whole team, Man City, should have been watching out for. Get the big guy, stop that run. And, he's actually training ground stuff. And I tell you why. Even with the first attempt, you see the players running towards the goalkeeper to impact on his movement out of the goal. So those were the two things they needed to watch. Gabriel's run and the attempt to protect their goalkeeper from the Arsenal players. And the second attempt was successful. He was at the right place at the right time and got it at the back of the net. And, but fault to Kai Walker and kudos to Gabriel. So good for him.
Yeah, Usu, how did you see it? How did you see it?
Yeah, with somebody who has scored, I think he has 18 goals in the Premier League or 15 goals in the Premier League, and he has scored 13 of them. I think the percentage rate was 87% of his goals in the Premier League have been headers. So yeah, it clearly shows you that he's an expert at it. And for Kyle Walker, well, when if you've ever played football, in the course of the game, there are sometimes you feel like, oh, come on, I don't have to be too hard on this guy. Let me just rest a bit. And that moment you decided to rest will just cause your downfall. I think that was what Kai Walker decided to do because he kept pushing the guy back until the guy went back and just walked around past him, and then he got the goal. He might have felt bad because he allowed it to happen, like Michael said. But this is somebody who is like bent on doing something, and in the end he got his goal. So for Gabriel, yeah, he got two headers in two games, and they were all like match winning goals until the end when they let themselves down. But yeah,
Okay. So once again, Trossard got a red card, and Arsenal has another red card due to, excuse me to say, stupidity again. The question people are asking is that, is there a conspiracy against Arsenal? Because there's a statistics before you guys speak. Michael Oliver has sent off Arsenal players 7 times in his career, which is more than any other team. Is it Arsenal's fault, or Michael Oliver doesn't like them, or the entire league doesn't like them? Coach.
Well, I honestly agree that it was careless, but we've been talking about the referees in Premier League and the use of their discretion. It was a foul, I agree, but I think it was for a second yellow card. It was uncalled for. If the referee had let it go, and nobody would complain. If the referee had let it go, but I wouldn't say it's a conspiracy. It's just one of those days. The more games you have with these teams, the more likely than not that you will punish them. So he has been in position for the likes of the Arsenal Chelseas, the Arsenal Man Cities, the Arsenal Manchester United. These are the referees for the big games, just like the way we talked about Anthony Taylor. So these guys will always be there, and they will punish whoever comes on their way. So it's just coincidence that this has had to happen. But for me, not a second yellow card. He would have been forgiven. Yeah.
Just Owusu, before you speak, just to chip something in. Do you know that he actually did not even give the yellow card for the foul? He gave it because he kicked the ball. That was why he gave the yellow card. He gave it because he knew that the time was almost a time for the first half to be over, and he decided to kick the ball so that before they bring the ball and all that, it will be over. So it was for time wasting. Also, how did you see that second yellow card?
Yeah, like Michael was saying, sometimes I think they abuse their discretion, their discretionary powers. This is just a one-off thing in the game. He committed a foul, you let that go, and then he decided to award the yellow card for just kicking the ball. I think the same thing happened to Odo in the Nottingham Forest Brighton game. It was an offside, and Odoi had the ball and he just kicked the ball, not so hard, just a bit, and he got a yellow card for it. So I'm trying to understand how the officiating works now, because it's like I'm a kick. I don't really know how the rules are working now, because it seems the yellow cards and the red cards are really flying out these days, and no one is coming out to explain why they are giving all of those yellow cards. The least thing somebody does, you see the card up. The least thing they do, you see the card up. And I really want to understand why this was done. And during the course of the game, was it Ruben Diaz? He was already on yellow card, right? And he elbowed, was it Havertz? And for that one, he let it go. And they were attacking the Manchester City goal. And you do this and they let you go, but somebody just decide to kick the ball. You supposedly assume it's time wasting, and then you give a yellow card and you just destroy the whole tempo of the game. And what we saw in the second half was like, I remember Chelsea Barcelona, or Chelsea Chelsea Barcelona Manchester United in 2009 thereabout. You just ruin the whole game, and then it becomes one-sided, like we are playing a basketball game. Quarter pack, man, how? It's so
Okay,
bad.
okay. Just to put some perspective on it,
Yeah,
the pundits were saying that this season there has been a meeting that there is going to be zero tolerance for time wasting, and the players were told. That is why Rice received another yellow card again for time wasting. He had a free kick and he delayed and he was given a yellow card. It's
yeah,
like I don't
yeah.
know why the players know this. They've been told, and you guys even know that these Premier League guys, we can't even trust them, and then you keep doing these things and it's costing your team. For me, I don't get it, because I feel like there are days where the thing is that if the referee is against you, don't give them the opportunity to do something against you. That's what I think, because like this
For
one,
the,
he can
for the,
defend himself because the law
for
says
the,
that I should, and I did it. The only thing is that the other team, I didn't give it to them. That's what
you
he
know,
would say.
for the players, it has to do with their ego and the tempo of the game. I
Yeah.
I saw Gabriel using the F word when
Mm.
an infringement didn't go their way. I think they were infringed, and it was like using the F word on another player. As for the players, it's like what you feel at the moment when you are enthused, when you have that passion, and you feel that sense of rivalry between you, because this is like a very big game in England, right? And everybody is talking about. That's why it's a late Sunday fixture. So you have to prove why it's really that important. And tempers are very high during the course of the game. Those things happening, you feel like, yeah, I can just do this and get away with it. But if you don't get away with it, that's it. You don't do it at a time where it's going to cost your team, like Trossard did. So receiving just a yellow card, but be mindful that during the course of the game, you might be in a position to commit a tactical foul. And if you do that, because of the silly thing you did prior to that, that would just be a straight red card. Yeah, another second yellow card, and then you get a red card, and then you cost your team like Trossard did to us now today. So that
Okay,
is it.
okay, okay. So let's go to the last bit of the discussion with of Man City versus Arsenal's match. When Pep Guardiola was making the changes and then he brought in John Stones, I'm like, this guy, what's wrong with him? You guys need a goal, so I was expecting him to gamble and bring only attackers and all that. But he brought in John Stones, and I thought it was a like for like swap that I don't think it was needed. And then John Stones was the one that gave the equalizer in the end. Coach,
You
how did
know,
you see that one?
So the formation for Manchester City, even before Haaland, when they talk about the first nine, and all the likes. It's about the tactical ability of these players. If you also follow during the game, um, Arsenal was winning all the first balls on the duels. They were winning most of the duels. So you might be looking at it at that latter stage. A lot of pull-outs will be coming. It will not be time to play too much fancy football. So at that time, he probably was thinking, you know what, let's go for height. If you relate to sometimes in Manchester United, where you are wondering why they bring in Maguire, and before you realize, he's playing attack. So that all the pull-outs, even for England, they do that. So what I think he was thinking at the point is to get height and power, and Stones too is also good on the foot. At least passing the balls around and everything. So I think that's what he was going for: height and power to contest with Arsenal players in the box, basically.
Also, your view on it. Also, your view on it.
Yeah, for me, if you ask me, there are days where you try everything with your attackers and your creative midfielders, it doesn't work. And then you just gamble to bring a player can do something out of the blue. And I think Stones has that. Like, say, Rodri, a defensive midfielder who has come to the rescue of Manchester City a couple of times. Even in their Champions League triumph, he was the one that scored the lone goal to win it for them. So you had more of the balls falling on Kovacic, who was supposed to be converting those shots on, like, those shots were supposed to be on target, but he kept flying the balls so high, and they weren't getting anybody to do it for them. So I think at that point, Pep could be also thinking that, okay, since this is not working, I have to just bring in a ruthless person, somebody who can just shoot from anywhere, and then let's see. Because before he was brought on, I think Akanji had tried, Walker had tried some few shots, some were blocked, some went wayward. So he was like, okay, then let's just gamble, bring Stones on, and it worked perfectly for them. So, well, when
Okay,
when when
okay.
you bring,
So you guys, the question to the two of you:
mm,
with what you just saw in 90 minutes, can Arsenal win the league? We are back to this question
never,
again.
never,
Can Arsenal
never.
win the league? So 10 seconds
I'll
each.
come.
Who should continue
I'll
and then
come
we go
first.
to coach?
Last week we were here, and I told you that Premier League, there's a trend that is very very common in the teams that win it. They can fight to the very end. If this game was to be played against, let's say, Chelsea or Liverpool or Manchester United, they could have seen this game to a win. But look at Arsenal. Just few seconds to end the game, you let yourselves down. So Arsenal, like I say, they don't have the character. They can do whatever they want to do, but the last minute finish to just make sure everything is right, they don't have it. They did it last season, and just in this match, few seconds. Yeah, let's say last season we had about 4 weeks or 5 weeks to end. This one, few seconds, oh, they couldn't hold on. You have a corner, and all of the players were in the box. What were you doing there? Charge them and let them be frustrated and play the ball elsewhere. You were all sitting back, and then they came at you, and then see, I felt they let themselves down. They even let Raya down, which is so bad. He had done so many saves.
It's okay.
So
It's okay. It's okay. Michael, let's see. Let's see. What do you think?
Yeah, so I still take my position. Arsenal cannot win the league. Even if they had won the match today, it probably won't change anything. It probably won't change anything. But yeah, so it's one of those things.
Okay, so let's go to our next match. Um, the Michael Jackson match. The Michael Jackson match. Chelsea versus West Ham. So if you are watching us, you may be surprised at why am I so excited. I was not even excited with the big match. It's because I'm a Chelsea fan and I can't hide it. I'm sorry, I can't. Chelsea versus West Ham. Michael, this one, wait for us. Let us talk and enjoy a little bit before you join us. Let us enjoy. This is our time. This is our time. This is our time. Let us enjoy a little bit. So Chelsea versus West
oh
Ham.
yeah, oh yeah.
Chelsea versus West Ham. Also, let's have some discussion and let's leave these
Well,
other teams somewhere. Let them wait. We are coming. We are coming.
of course.
Chelsea versus
With
West Ham. And Jackson had a brace. Jackson had a brace. Also, let's talk about our Michael Jackson.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. When he scored the goal and was asked about the celebration, he was like, "I've been thinking about it for some few days." Well, it was a very good match. Personally, I was very happy because I think this has been it has been a very tough run for us. The London Stadium, we've really suffered. I think out of 8 games, we've won just two. So just imagine, Davis Moyes really did a good work whilst he was there, but this time around we came out strong. Everything worked for us, and Maresca during his post-match interview, he was like, he saw something. When you have good coaches, when you have a tactical coach, some of these things they become. I didn't even realize that until I went to watch the highlight again. He said the two the right and left backs, they really moved forward a lot, which was creating a lot of spaces on those flanks. So it was very okay for us to just push them in, and then we just went at them. And if you watch both of the goals that were scored, I think, as with the exception of Jackson's second goal, with the exception of Jackson's second goal, both the first and the last goals, you could see evidently that the man really knew what he was doing. So Jackson with 2 goals, and I was telling my friend, Jackson last season, both of the goals he scored would have missed. It's either the keeper was going to save or the ball would have gone somewhere else. But look at the second goal. Look at the technique. As soon as he got the ball,
My goodness, the
my
technique,
boy,
the
my boy.
technique.
As for that Jackson, see, he can miss as many chances as he wants. We are still going to be stuck with him, because unless they bring
So
somebody
let me
like
let me give you some statistics
Mhm.
for the fans to be very happy. Listen. So he has been scoring since we started. Apart from the match we lost, that one we don't talk about that one. The City
Yeah,
will win anyway against anyone, so it's not even a match. Let's forget about that one. So since rules, he has scored against everyone except Bournemouth. That was the only match he
oh,
didn't score. And then let me give you another
okay.
statistics that will excite some fans. He has more non-penalty goals than Salah
Of course,
since
of
last
course, I
season.
saw that.
Since last season, coach, are you surprised? From since last season, he has no more non-penalty goals than Salah, more non-penalty goals than Saka. Coach, how do you see that?
Well, so with the statistics, I did not hear Ollie Watkins in there. I did not hear Ollie Watkins because so it's good to compare against great names, but if you have the whole statistics, you should put some people there because I know last
Then,
season
let me add.
Ollie Watkins
He
had
has
the
more
most
non-penalty
goals.
goals. Coach, let me add more. He has more non-penalty goals than Solanke, who had over 20 goals last season.
But Ollie
So it
Watkins,
was because
does
of
he have
his
more than Ollie
penalties. So
Watkins?
people are only using their penalties to surpass him.
Ollie
He's a very good
Watkins,
striker.
Ollie Watkins last season. Can you
We
Ollie
don't
Watkins
talk
last
about certain
season?
players on this spot. Certain players, their names are banned, and he's one of them. What do you think?
Of course, of course, of course.
Ollie Watkins is the
you
player
know,
in England that
when
has
when when you
most
have
goals,
these stats
no
coming your way,
penalties.
you feel very happy.
But honestly, I'm happy for Jackson because I think he has to reward Chelsea for the errors he has made in the past. Considering that
Mhm.
he was the main man in front and he lost a lot of chances. Like it was so clear, you know. But what I've seen for him this season is something that I think you and Usha have said too is the tactical use of him in the team with Maresca now. And that also happens how some players strive under some coaches and they don't strive
Some
under
coaches, yeah.
under I watched the game. I see him flying from before he used to be very central, but in this game coming from the left, going into the attack, there's actually a system that is working for him now. Maybe that point man and just tap to the empty net is not his thing. So he needs to, come drive, make those runs and place the ball in the back of the net. So good stuff for him. He has had a good run from the end of last season coming into this season. So clearly it looks like something has changed and he's highly
Yeah.
motivated.
And when the season ended, when we were all talking about getting a new striker, I think the idea for some of the Chelsea fans was why Jackson is very good when he drops back and he moves with the ball, runs at defenders, even on both flanks. So why not get a striker and then you put him on the left flank for him to do the same thing Kopama is doing on the other flank, right? So I think the coach, when he went to the market, he didn't find anybody. He realized that no, we can also use our own system. So right now, if you look at Jackson's tactical position, it's very, very good. You are not able to mark him because This minute, you see him right in front of the defenders. Then he moves towards Caicedo. You see him on the left. Then he will be closer to Palmer in the next minute. He's just flowing fluidly like that. So I think the coach also has seen something that can help us. And with the kind of goals scored in the previous game, Brighton should be very careful if they are going to play with the high line they have been playing. If we get on a good day again this team against Brighton, they should take nothing less than 5 goals. So they should be very mindful of
So,
those
so,
high
so
lines.
on record, you are saying that on a good day we are giving it to Brighton five,
If
five
if they
goals.
make if they make a mistake and play the high lines, if they my point is only one. Right now, I see that defensively we are thriving very well. If he plays the high line against us and we get these players coming, my brother. And we one thing we're also forgetting, Sancho had another assist. Somebody was saying that this could be his best match and what. He had another. So his 2 games, less than 15 minutes, he's had 2 assists already. And I don't want to mention a player's name, but Anthony Anthony will just spin and spin and spin and spin and spin and my brother, nothing will come out of it. So yeah, right now Chelsea is becoming sweet. I feel very happy watching matches. I couldn't believe myself when I was watching Brighton and Nottingham Forest. I was like, what am I doing? But right now my love for football is coming back, so expect more.
You see, the podcast came at the right time because last season, if we started this last season, I'm sure you'll be so embarrassed. We suffered, bro. We suffered, and that's what coach is going through. And we will come to his team. Okay. So another player that I think, because of Jackson's prowess and what he did, people were not talking about is Caicedo. The guy was immense yesterday. He was immense. Coach, did you actually pay attention to Caicedo in that match?
Yeah, so Caicedo is a good player. We've seen him before he came to Chelsea, so I think he's beginning to find his feet around the team. You remember I told you about the role of Enzo and Mudiak and all those guys. Now that they are a bit more two in the team, like they are not like the main players. So some other people are finding their footing. You see, we've talked about how Jackson is finding his foot, and Caicedo is getting his beast mode back on. A fantastic player. I think before now he just did not understand the position and organization of the team. And honestly, I would say also kudos to Maresca. Clearly, there's something he's doing behind the scene that we are not talking about that is making everybody like getting the maximum capacity of these players. So fantastic stuff, winning those balls, winning his duels, and you know, converting the transition, which is very key for a holding midfielder. Win the ball, start the transition, find Jackson, find Palmer, and Chelsea forward going. Forward going Chelsea.
Okay, before we speak on Moises Caicedo, the super player, I want to tell you guys some statistics. When it comes to Chelsea, I have all the statistics and everything ready to give out. You see, he said the entire match he won the most duels. That's 13. He had the most tackles. He provided one assist, created a big chance, had 87% pass accuracy. Normally, we know that we have players who always give the best tackles, like our country that we love. But this guy also comes with pass accuracies and assists as well. Also, how did you see the performance from Caicedo?
So for Moises Caicedo, man, you just have to love him. He's a bit of the Kante with flair. He's a bit of the country with, with players that are traveling from outside Europe and coming in, especially with those with a humble background. It's like it's either you perform or your mom goes hungry. Perform or your family go hungry. So it's like that. We were comparing which player. I think. I forgotten the 2 players. I think Madueke, and one other guy. Madueke and Savinho. Yes, I was on call with my friend. We were comparing those 2 players. I was telling him that we are expecting more from Madueke, right? But you see, Savinho, the pass he gave was very nice. And I was telling him, yes, as for Savinho, he is from South America. If he doesn't play well, his parents are going to go hungry. So he has to perform. But for Madueke, his parents are already in England. He has nothing to lose. You understand? So the mentality is different. That's the issue with Moises Caicedo. I was reading on Opta that among all players that have made over 50 tackles and above, he was the one leading. And to add up with chance creation and assisting, I think is something that we love to see. So if you have a DM that is providing all of these things for you, you only have to keep calm and see what the future holds. If we get our James fit, if we get our Nkuku and all the other guys fit, I'm telling you, brother, Chelsea is going to be a force to contend with. So for now, you just relax. As for Moses Caicedo,
Let me remind the fans of a nice quote by Mourinho. I think the second coming of Mourinho, and he was like, "This year we are the third horse, the small horse that's chasing the big ones, but next year we will race.
of
Next year we
course.
will race."
Of course. So I think people are worried, and Chelsea, when we win about 2 or 3 games continuously, people begin to ask questions. Are they coming in? Are they able to maintain their form for the next few games? For now, we are saying it's early days yet, but I think the game with Brighton is going to be a test for us. So you guys should watch out. With their high line, I'm saying again, we are going to beat them because Caicedo knows them very well. He knows them very, very well. So going at them would be a very nice and
Let me cut you. Let me cut you here. Coach, once again, Cole Palmer scored again. It was assisted by Jackson. The combination now, the two of them now, they have the most goals when it comes to two people, even more than most players that we know. No, the two of them are really combining. And Cole Palmer, that goal was so good. Coach, say something about it.
So, we've been talking, while Owusu was even speaking, I'm just saying, I think you guys as Chelsea fans should be giving kudos to Maresca because clearly there's something he's doing that is different. So, Caicedo, Jackson, now Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer, good with his finishing. I think he had a difficult time last season because he was carrying the team in his back. But now, the pressure has now been reduced. So he has like more opportunity to advance, be in quality positions. And this is stylishly creating a partnership that we should also be looking out for. I'm sure everybody was thinking, okay, Jackson will be looking for, the second guy at that point, or, want to take the whole shine for the day. But he saw that the decision making, that Palmer was in a better position than he was at the time, then, made that pass. And, I scored like Owusu has just done. Simple slotting into the position. Like I was never in doubt. When you know the quality of the kind of players you have, you know what they are capable of doing. In that angle, he's going to punish you. So fantastic goal, fantastic combination. If you also look at the totality for that goal, the build-up was fantastic. Coming from Caicedo, the other player, then to Jackson, going into the position, attempting to shoot, but the defenders committing themselves and dropping the ball to Palmer, slot back of the net, easy goal for Palmer. So fantastic goal.
So the question is that, Coach, you are the neutral. Maresca hasn't played a lot of matches, even in the top flight. But with what you've seen so far compared to Pochettino, is he tactically ahead of him?
Well, tactically, with the few games, even as a viewer, how you know a team that is doing well is the approach. So clearly, he has his philosophy, he has his ideas, and the players are beginning to understand. They have not gotten there, but they are beginning to understand what he wants to achieve. I think before now I was a bit unfair to him, especially with the way he handled Sterling, and coming out to the press. But clearly, I think he saw the structure of the team and he knows, oh, I need this guy, I don't need this guy, you don't waste your time and everything. So with Pochettino, I think he was relaxed, being that he had Premier League experience, coming from PSG, where he handled the big boys, but Chelsea being a growing team, he had his way around the press. But with what is on ground right now, Maresca knows what he's doing. And when you talk about top flight, let's go back to what he did with Leicester in the championship. I followed Leicester in the championship last season. They were brutal. To achieve the kind of result they achieved in the championship, and losing key players. You know, when they went down, they lost the Tillemans and the likes. Well, Vardy decided to stay, but you know, with the kind of players he had, he was able to deliver that result and bring them back to the Premier League. Why not? So I think what he's doing with Chelsea is he has a direction. And clearly, you know, in Pep's recent interview, he said, if you want to be a good coach to win, come and work under me. So clearly, he's bragging about his guys that are doing well wherever they are. So I think the guy is doing well.
Just for the fans, maybe those who didn't watch the post-match interview from Maresca, the pundits were like, "Oh, coach, you know, we can see clearly that the players are buying into your ideas and all that." He said, "Yeah, so how do you see it? That it's like so soon they've bought into your idea and they're playing according to how you want it." And he said, "Okay, but if you don't buy into my idea, you don't play." I love his arrogance, bro.
Yes, for some time now, we've not had coaches that can come up and face the media. You know, he has let the noise about Chelsea to settle a bit. It's just simple. If you don't buy into my idea, you don't play. And it was right from the get go. When he came to Chelsea, there were certain players we thought he was going to keep, and he said no. I want to leave them out, and he let a lot of them out. I was even surprised when I heard Chukwuemeka was not part of Chelsea's squad. But I think right now he has been let in. You understand? So this is a coach that's like right away wants to make a mark. And from what we are seeing, people are doing it. Mudrik was given a chance in the first 2 or 3 games. He proved that he can't be relied on. Right now, he's been sidelined, and even getting 10 minutes to play has become a problem. So he has been used as a scapegoat over there. So if you want to also toe the line of Mudrik, you know what to do. If you don't want to, you know what to do. And another player that I'm suspecting might follow will be Madueke. You know, for some reason he was allowed to play I think the full 90 minutes. When he was questioned about the players getting angry because Palmer was like, am I the one who was being sacked? He looked confused. And, there was a bit of noise around there, but he calmed them that, of course, if you're a player that scores a goal or assists in a match, when you are coming off, you don't get angry. But if you still feel like the team is losing or the team is drawing and you want to prove a point, that's when you are subbed off, you become angry, right? Yes, this is a message that has been indirectly shot at Madueke, but people will be focusing it more on Palmer and Jackson. Of course, they got their goals and their assists. They are off. They've had their numbers, but you are on to prove a point. And he had two clear chances. He was supposed to pass for people to score. He didn't. This is just a bit of it. So Madueke should be very careful. In as much as you want him to do very well, he should know when to pass and he should know when to shoot. Else, he might be following um, the footsteps of what was his name, Mudrik, very soon. You saw what Pedro did. The few minutes he got, he tried to prove a point in how fluid he was, taking on players and going direct at them. So yeah. So as for Maresca, we are blessed to have him. And the comparison with Poch, you can say it's early days yet, but you see a clear intent of what he wants to do. He is so direct. I want this. I want that, and he has laid down the plan, and everything seems to be working for
Okay,
him.
Usu, thank you, thank you. Let's go to the next match that coach is itching to talk about. Manchester versus Crystal Palace. Manchester versus Crystal Palace. With the Manchester versus Crystal Palace, they drew against United just as they drew with Chelsea. But then I think with Chelsea, the performance was good. But coach, within for 30 seconds, how did you see it? How did you
You
see it?
said the performance was good for Man U with Chelsea. I think it was actually good with Crystal Palace, but it's one of those days where when you don't take your chances, you get hot. When you don't take your chances, you get hurt. And I'm sure you have like strong points for this game. But at least for the first time, like I said, I'm not an ETH fan. But clearly, I was talking about pattern when we are talking about Maresca. I studied the approach to the game, and it looks like, and that's the problem with the Premier League now. You can't test run during games. You can test run in training ground, but they tried to test run a strategy during the game that was successful but did not yield results. So it was very sad.
Okay. So I think from the beginning I realized that just as Gabriel is so vital in the set pieces, the late might be also vital for you guys. How do you see it?
So if you recall, if you listen to our last podcast, you realize that this was what I was saying, that the lead is this is area presence. He knows the approach. All he needs is a proper plan, because they cannot just do it in the pitch as well. Proper plan with the guys, the set piece guys, either it's Ericsson or Fernandez or Ahmad, whoever is taking those corners on his run and where they want to put the ball. So if you watch like with Gabriel today, the two balls were at the back post, at the second post, and that was the approach they were trying to do with the elite. But when it comes to those set pieces, like I said, he's going to assure us goals and attempts. And clearly, we saw it in the games, even with the strong trying to stop him. He had the strength to go into those positions, win those headers. But like I said, Henderson came up with his own plan for the day. So it was a stumbling block against his old team, trying to prove a point. And well, but with the elite, sure thing, he's going to be a threat for those set pieces, and there will be a lot more to see with him over the course of the season.
Okay, Usu. So how do you see the entire match? Just 30 seconds. How do you see the entire match?
Well, I was happy because if they had won against Palace today, we wouldn't have had peace. We wouldn't have had peace. So yeah, and the Crystal Palace came very close to scoring, and all of those chances were falling on Eze. Clearly, he missed two sitters, which made the game to be a draw after 90 minutes. Well, if you ask me, I don't have much to say about that match. I was very happy they drew. If they had lost, I'll be very much happier. But
That's not
for
nice.
now,
That's not nice.
Yeah, we will take the draw like that. We will take the draw like that because
we'll
they
take
lost.
the draw like that because
Somebody
we don't
didn't
have a
bring,
choice.
because they lost. Somebody didn't bring the tactical board. There was no tactical
Of
board
course,
today. There's no
if
tactical
they
board.
had won,
You will bring his tactical board and be telling us that you go to the
yeah,
first line, the touch line, and all that. You see today, there's no tactical
The
board.
tactical board would have been
uh,
good even if we wanted to talk about tactics. So if you remember, I was talking about the problem with the approach is that you cannot come to a game to test run a strategy that you have not test run in the training pitch. So if you look at that game, let's look at the pivotal role of Dalot. If you notice, that was like a new approach to the game, and it was the key to
yeah,
even most of the openings. The pass to Joshua, the pass to Garnacho, the link up from the middle. And it was actually even difficult for Crystal Palace to follow, because you would think him coming to the middle would expose the flank, but they had Ericsson that shifted from the middle that way. So if we were to do a man-to-man or a zonal marking, it destabilized the structure of Crystal Palace. So that's why Crystal Palace, at some point, even when they were playing up front, they were playing in the center, and the center was crowded. They couldn't go through the flank because you had Ericsson trying to spread the game on that side of the pitch. And as an opponent, you also have to be very careful, because those guys can hurt you with a long pass or a short pass. So there was like I said, the distraction. Dalot going to the middle, Ericsson covering the middle at the left, but it wasn't working because it was not yielding results. Is the outcome is what matters. So, but for the tactical point of view, that was a very very good approach to the game. This is something that Liverpool also tried with Trent. Coming from the right back into the center and giving those harmful passes. And I think honestly, Dalot is somebody that we should be talking about in Man U and his role. Trying to create and support the attack. So tactically, I think the game was good yesterday, but the result didn't come our way, and it was unfortunate. So one of those days.
Okay. So let's talk about Henderson. Henderson, your own former goalkeeper, he was immense because for me, he was the man of the match. The saves that he made. Owusu, how do you see Henderson?
well, for Henderson, he did well. When you are very good and you can play at the top level, but some people feel that you are not so good, and you have to play for a mid-table club. This is what you do against them. I'm telling you, if there was a penalty that was called in favor of Crystal Palace, he would have opted to shoot, because everything he did was to keep these people out. And some saves he made. Oh my, oh my. I was like, yeah, this guy has
Prime Peter Schmeichel.
this guy has really come at United. And thanks be to God for him, it didn't end like Raya. There was no goal that entered his net. So yeah, he must be proud. And even before the 90th minute mark, he had already been adjudged man of the match. So yeah, he did very well. I'm happy what he did against Manchester United.
And just to double down, coach, Onana's double save. You were choosing Robert Sanchez last week over Onana, but look at the saves that he gave. There's those double save, coach. What do you say about that?
Yeah, so
He's still
I was watching an interview this morning, and somebody said, I think they are now seeing the Onana of Inter Milan in recent games. And, in the end, you have to wake up to the challenge. You have to wake up to the challenge. And as a former player, I used to say something that a good goalkeeper starts from your defense. Even in the era of De Gea, with David, if the defense is solid, when those one or two chances come towards you, then you begin to want to show up. But when the defense is in shadows, your motivation and your morale begins to drop. Those two saves were very, very fantastic. Quick to go to the ground, quick to come back up, make yourself big and all that. So fantastic double saves. So he's like building a reputation, saving a penalty the game before, coming here, saving a point blank save. Well, if he in football, you need to be consistent. So you need to show in this performance game in, game out for us to rate you. And it's the same thing for Henderson. And that is the reason why he couldn't make it to the top position in Manchester United. His inconsistency, decision making. If there's anything I loved about Henderson is that he's a good sweeper. That was something that David De Gea wasn't. A good sweeper. But there's more to being a sweeper goalkeeper these days. You have to be like all-rounded, and you have to, be the coach's favorite. So Onana on point, Henderson on the day on point. But he can't be consistent. He can't be consistent.
Okay, so just 1 minute before we end. So, coach, who are you choosing between Zirkzee and Haaland? Which one? Who are you choosing? If you were the coach right now, they were all ready, physically ready. Who are you going for?
Well, as a coach, coming from a coach perspective, Haaland, we need more game time. They all have their contributions. Okay, so it's the headache for him now to go back to work how he wants to play around the formation, because they all have. Honestly, Zirkzee is good on the ball, dribbling, beating one-on-one, his passes. Haaland will be better in goal scoring. He's the junior Haaland. Left foot power, trying to push towards scoring if he has his chances. But I think for now, if I were to go without form just to pick, I honestly would stand with Haaland. But with what is Haaland, we need more game time to be able to break into the team.
Okay, so let's move straight to Liverpool versus Bournemouth. And the slot had his win again. I have my own observation, but let's start right from the beginning. Semenyo's offside goal. Do you think it was a goal or it was an offside? Owusu.
Oh yeah, I think clearly it was, because if you look at the replays that came, he was in an offside position. So for that one, we can't really argue about it. But when you are playing with a team like Liverpool and you get a first goal at them, you always expect them to come at you. They will always attack you. You get it. It was quite unfortunate that goal was disallowed. It would have changed how the match would have ended. But well, that is the story for the day. It was an offside.
Okay, coach. Let's go to coach. So for me, I want to. You are the coach, so you correct me if I'm wrong. I realized that after that offside goal, the players panicked and they decided that, coach, whatever you told us, we are not listening. We have been scoring goals before you came to this team. We know how we do it. We give it to Alexander Arnold. He gives a very long pass and we score all the time. It's not, we are not going to doing those tiki taka thing and passing 20 passes before we score. So that's what they did for all their goals. Coach, am I wrong?
Now you'll be surprised that that was Ancelot's strategy and not the former Liverpool strategy. And I'll tell you why. I saw those goals and I said to myself, this is the Liverpool of Benitez. This is the Benitez structure that Liverpool came during the time of Alonso, sucked the team to you and played the long balls to Torres at the time that had pace and all those guys, the Coit and the likes. So right now, very unlike Liverpool that had a lot of possession, especially in the first half, you notice that the opponent, like, we're trying to keep the ball and we're pressing high. Also I've been talking about his pity for Brighton if they keep the high line. Sometimes with high line, if you play the ball on the ground, it makes it difficult. So it's about changing the strategy. So Liverpool brought the opponents to them. And that I said it's not them just waking up, it's the coach that said, you know what? For every time Arnold played those balls, you see that there were three runners at the time, every time that ball went over. So it was a clear approach to the game, So it was not we now know. He clearly now see that, okay, if we want to play the ball on the ground with these guys, today, on this day, they are better than us. Or we'll begin to lose those passes. So you know what? Bring them closer, get the ball to Arnold, who is very good with those balls, and get it across. Find Diaz, find Salah, just continue till you get the result. So I would say is the coach idea. It won't just be the players coming up with those ideas. If not, there would have been a lot of lost balls.
Okay. Okay, Usu, how do you see that? Because when he came, we saw his first three matches and how it went. And then after they lost their match in the Premier League, we've seen that there's been a tweak in the tactics. Sometimes I think we forget that we Africans are seeing the thing as if, except Maresca. But I think with white people in general, they are normally accommodative. They'll go for team meetings and then they'll be like, "Oh, okay, coach, you have your idea, we understand, but maybe we also think that this is how we could help." Also, do you think something like that might have happened? A meeting that might have gone on?
Well, it depends. There are some coaches, like let's take Conte or Mourinho for instance. It's not about what you think. He will tell you are paid to work. So whatever I instruct you to do, do it. If at the end of the day I'm doing the same thing, I'm rolling out my philosophy and it doesn't work, I'm the one who is going to be kicked out, not you. You understand? Well, it could have gone on or not. But with the Premier League, once you come in and it looks all rosy for you, win your first 2 or 3 games, and you get a reset, just like Conte did when he took over Chelsea. Once he got a reset and he was like, nah, let me use my own philosophy now. Well, this one came in and he's using his own philosophy. He got whipped by Nottingham Forest and was like, okay, now it's time for me to tweak things. So he tweaked and it worked. Whether it was something they had planned to do or it was the players' own will to have done it that way. We saw a very ruthless Darwin Núñez. So, my friend, it should tell you how things have gone. But all credit to him, losing 1-0 and with the kind of team Bournemouth are, for you to go at them and get 3 goals. Because we really struggled, not until the 85th minute that we got a goal. So with Liverpool getting those 3 goals past them, I think it was good. And don't forget Kepa. He did his thing.
I'm actually coming to him. But I want us to talk about Diaz and the Anislot. Diaz and the Anislot. Coach, how do
Yeah,
you see him? He has been phenomenal since this new coach came in.
Yeah, so Diaz has been actually very, very good. He's a very, very good player. So it's nothing new to see what he's doing. But I think what has happened right now, unlike during the time of Club had the as a Wenger thing of everybody should go to Henry. So Club was everybody should go to Salah. But with Ancelotti, it's like everybody should go to Diaz. He's younger, he's faster, like Owusu said, the South American vibe, so he now knows that the onus is on him to deliver. So I think mentally he has upped his game and upped his approach towards the goal, and he's doing fine. So they are the two serial killers, the coach and his assassin partner in this case, which will be Diaz. So fantastic. He's doing well for the goal scoring. He's doing well for the team. His contributions generally. Um, Diaz is doing very, very well.
Okay. So the last thing before we leave, let's talk about Kepa. This guy was gaslighting Chelsea fans that it was our defense, and we were saying this guy, he is the problem. And also, how did you see his performance?
Well, the thing with Kepa, I feel so bad when I talk about him this way, but it's like he has let himself down. After his breakup and mental health issues, he got back doing his thing and he got a challenge from Mendy. But where he lost it was you were taken from Chelsea to go on loan at Real Madrid. And you go and you start granting interviews, talking big. You understand? When you do some of these things and the odds turn against you, no one will come to your rescue. I think for the very first minute, he was doing so well. He was doing very good saves. Then all of a sudden, I don't know whether the curse came back or he was thinking
No, he
about
kept
something.
it. He kept it.
He just ran at Diaz, knowing very well that this ball you cannot get a hand to it. And then Diaz also controlled it. Diaz is not one of those players who will fake a foul. He controlled it very well and just put the ball behind the back of the net. So for Kepa, well, it's sad. Former Chelsea goalkeeper facing all of these things, but it is what it is. I'm not really disturbed or
We've
perturbed by any
moved
of
on. We've moved on. We don't even remember him.
it. Just like Havertz has asked us to move on.
Yeah, we've moved on. We have our Maresca now, so we don't even care. We don't
Of
care. We
course,
don't
we
care.
don't need
Yeah.
Kepa. He can suffer
Okay.
for all we care.
Okay. So it has been a lovely time. The discussions has been on and all that. So next week is going to be another exciting time. Don't miss out. We are going to go deeper and deeper. Hopefully, United will lose this time around.
Hopefully, all of us get the result and Chelsea draws.
Never.
No. We want United to lose.
We're not going to lose the next game.
So your next game is against who?
I was checking that fixture earlier.
Because we want United to lose. We want to see how coach is going to be, how composed and calm
Yes,
and
and we
collected
need
going
that
to
result.
be.
It's against Tottenham. I'm sure you expect
Oh, you
Tottenham
see,
to
that's
lose.
the big match. See, that's going to be our main match. And when we come, that's going to be the first match we're going to talk about. So
It's a
fans,
late
don't
fixture.
miss out.
It's a late fixture as well.
Yes,
Sunday.
yes. So don't worry, fans. We are going to see. We are going to see how coach is going to be calm and
If we
collected or
lose and
not.
we run
And
away,
thank
we'll
you,
be
everyone.
sued. If we don't
Yeah,
win
yeah,
the
yeah.
match, I will
Thank
not
you,
show
everyone.
face.
It's okay. It's okay. Thank you, everyone. See you again the same time next week. And please subscribe, comment. We want to hear your comments. Comment, subscribe on YouTube. Listen to us. You can see on all the platforms when you hear or you see us. Just comment, subscribe, and all that. Thank you, everyone. See you again the same time next week.